Okay, today we're digging into a concept that is seriously shaking up health and food science. We're talking about postbiotics. Now, if you think you know the whole story on gut health because you know about probiotics, you're gonna wanna stick around. We're about to look at what's coming next, the new frontier. Right. We all know the deal with probiotics, right? They're the good live bacteria. But here's a thought. What if the real magic isn't the bacteria themselves, but what they leave behind? What if there's something even better? Let's dive in. So here's our roadmap. First, we'll tackle the probiotic puzzle. Then you'll meet the postbiotics and really get why they have a serious advantage. We'll find out where you can find them on your plate. And finally, we'll peek into a future that just might be fermented. All right, so let's start on familiar ground. For years, probiotics have been the undisputed champions of the gut health world. But there's a catch. The official definition from the World Health Organization says it all. They are live bacteria. When you get enough of them, they provide a health benefit. They're the tiny helpers working away in your yogurt or kimchi. But here's the twist in the plot. The fact that they're alive? Well, that's also their biggest weakness. See, probiotics are super fragile. They can die off during the manufacturing process, or just sitting on a store shelf, or even in your own stomach acid. And get this, some research points to an even bigger concern. Some strains can actually carry genes for antibiotic resistance. So because they're so unstable, those health benefits we're all hoping for, they're not always a sure thing. And all of this, all these challenges, brings us to the real hero of our story today. If probiotics are the problem, what's the solution? Well, say hello to postbiotics. But wait, before we properly meet postbiotics, we gotta talk about what they eat. That's where prebiotics come in. Think of prebiotics as the packed lunch for your good bacteria. They're the specific fibers and stuff that those good microbes just love to feast on. So, you've got the bacteria, the probiotics, and you've got their food, the prebiotics. When the probiotics eat the prebiotics, they produce postbiotics. These are all the beneficial compounds, metabolites, little cell fragments, you name it, that are created by the bacteria. And here is the absolute key. They are not alive. I love this analogy because it just makes it all click. Think of it this way. The probiotics are the tiny, hardworking chefs in your gut, and the postbiotics, they're the amazing, nutritious meals that the chefs cook up for you. So the question becomes, what if we could just skip the chefs and go straight to the meal? Okay, so why is going straight for that meal such a game changer? Let's break down the massive advantages postbiotics have. It really comes down to this. Probiotics are alive and delicate. Postbiotics, they're not alive, which makes them incredibly stable. That means their activity isn't all over the place. It can be standardized, controlled, and measured. This gives them a way lower risk profile and, as you're about to see, a much, much longer shelf life. How much longer are we talking? How does up to 5 years sound? This is incredible. It makes postbiotics so much more reliable for everything from supplements to medicine. It just takes all the guesswork out of the equation. And the benefits? Wow. The research is linking postbiotics to a whole host of amazing effects. They can be anti-inflammatory, help balance the immune system, act as antioxidants, the list goes on. We're even seeing exciting research exploring their potential role in preventing really complex diseases, from inflammatory bowel disease all the way to Alzheimer's. Now, this all sounds great in a science lab, but what does it actually mean for your shopping cart? Let's bring this out of the lab and into the kitchen. And here's the best part. Postbiotics are not some weird, new-fangled ingredient. Nope. They're the natural byproduct of one of humanity's oldest food tricks, fermentation. Turns out they've been in our diets this whole time. Just look at these examples. That lactic acid in sourdough that makes it easier to digest? That's a postbiotic. The stuff in cheddar cheese that gives it a great texture? Yep, also postbiotics. Even the antioxidant kick you get from kombucha. And check this out. Studies have even found that certain postbiotic compounds can reduce harmful bacteria like E. coli on grilled beef. How wild is that? And that last point raises a really important question. It's not just about our health. How exactly are postbiotics becoming this secret weapon in making our food supply safer? Well, it's because postbiotics are basically a tiny microbial arsenal. They've got organic acids that make it tough for bad bacteria to grow. They've got bacteriocyanins, which are like these little targeted missiles, natural proteins that take out specific bad guys without causing collateral damage. It's an entire army of protective compounds. All of this power is leading us to some seriously futuristic ideas that could completely revolutionize how we produce, package, and protect our food. You know, one of the toughest problems in the food industry is something called a biofilm. It's this gross, slimy shield that bacteria build on equipment, and it's incredibly hard to clean. But guess what? Postbiotics can actually break down and destroy these dangerous biofilms, making the whole food processing system way safer. And it gets even cooler. Get ready for active packaging. The idea is you infuse the packaging film itself with postbiotics. Then you wrap your food in it, and the packaging, it actively fights off microbes, keeping your food safer and fresher for longer, all naturally. It's brilliant. So, what does this all add up to? The future potential here is just massive. We're looking at safer options for people with compromised immune systems, better and more effective infant formulas, and maybe, just maybe, a big reduction in all those artificial preservatives, leading to a much more sustainable and secure food supply for everyone. Which leaves us with this one final, really fascinating thought. For so long, we've been obsessed with the live microbes themselves. But maybe, just maybe, the real treasure, the key to our future health and a safer world, has been hidden all along in what our microbes leave behind.